The last one that I'll just quickly touch on before I get to my last slide because of time is Twitter. We were one of the first of the big four in South Africa to run a Twitter campaign. Yes, I use the word campaign because it was the start of our journey. We started this process to actually actively engage journalists. And the reason why we targeted journalists is we found out that journalists weren't actually reading emails to get stories anymore. They weren't bothered with that. They were looking at Twitter, and they were picking up threads on Twitter. So we got a group of influential journalists together. We articulated to them what we were planning on doing on Twitter and how they could actually find out our latest house view on the SA budget. Okay? We activated our handle. I think we posted in excess of about 80 tweets. Embedded within those tweets, we had bit.ly URLs linking to thought leadership on our .com website. Within 1 month, we had a 29% increase in web traffic. 80% of that traffic came through those bit.ly URLs. The South African Deloitte budget page was the highest usage in Deloitte across the globe, all because of our one campaign. We started off with 60 followers. At the end of the process, we had 260 followers that were influential clients listening to what we said or journalists. So from a free campaign, it was a lot easier than actually publishing thought leadership in the traditional channels, buying an advert and articulating that Deloitte is the best or Deloitte is number one. So what? There's other examples that I can come through, but on recruitment and learning. Funny enough, the learning platform there, the Deloitte Leadership Academy, actually emanated out of an innovation process that we did with our client in Australia with Qantas. So that's one of the byproducts of what we did, but I can talk about that later if we've got time. A sneak to the future. I have a view that it is actually just code. And if you actually want to unbundle social media, it's just another set of data out there. And that's all it really is, and you really need to understand that data. To give you a sense of what this mess over here is, those are communities that over there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and us in the middle, 6, that we actively wanted to engage with. So what we did is we had a look at that area there. Oh, sorry, this thing's not working. There. That's our Twitter feed going out to those communities. What we highlighted is that those communities there, we weren't actually getting very much of a message across. So we targeted specific individuals within those communities, used them as influencers to get our message out there and awareness of the Deloitte brand. As a result of a couple of well-placed tweets and understanding that community, you can see how our message spread by just actually targeting that campaign. The second side that I'll talk about briefly here is a product called SOMs, or self-organizing maps. Okay, it looks like heat maps. What we did there is again, an airline, we went to them and said, you don't understand the power of your data set. So we took 49,000 frequent flyers from their database. From their their static ERP systems, we extracted 400 data elements that linked to a customer. We then found another 476 data elements in the web and social media channels that were relevant to those customers. Based on that, we were able to create a pattern, or we put it through the SOM, which is an algorithm that churns away after about 5 days. It spat out 870 of these maps. Each of those maps have a buying pattern or a behavioral pattern. So that little dot there, that green one, could represent one individual or it could represent 250 individuals. But what it basically says is that based on whatever's on that axis and that axis, they will behave in a certain pattern. What we then went to them and said, okay, let's take that one for example. That light blue section there represents 10,000 frequent flyers. Those frequent flyers are currently sitting on Platinum. Their Platinum membership is about to expire. They're going to go to Blue. Based on another algorithm that we'd picked up, if they go to Blue, they're going to leave your frequent flyer program and go to a competitor. What do they behave on? They actually love getting more points in their point status. So therefore, run a targeted campaign, give them 2 points for every time they fly for a short duration, and we guarantee you will convert the majority of them. Client looked at us skeptically. They ran that. 60% of them were converted to frequent flyers for life and have stayed in the program, and they dropped 10 million to the bottom line as a result of that. So I guess, to me, it is data. It's powerful. It's out there. I've got a number of stories around how share price can be affected by Twitter. And the the premium associated with actually having a Twitter account targeting your analysts in the IR community. So there's many of those, but I'm running out of time.